Coming to you direct from deep underneath your favorite Japanese wrestling arena, it's time for your high-speedy, strongly styled, fighting spirited, secret handshaking, wink-wink, nudge-nudge, lethal dose of female professional wrestling, primarily in the land of shoguns and rising suns. It's time for you to remove your blindfold, accept a complimentary fruity drink that's totally not sus at all, and learn from our inside terminology, because you, our friends, have nearly willfully accepted the invite and have joined our Cult of Joshi. Now allow me to introduce you to your fighting spirited guides, Raja and John.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cult of Joshi. I'm your host Raja and I'm joined by my co-host John.
Hello.
And we have come to you here today to talk about some Stardom. Because it is that time of year where it is all about the tournament time, baby.
So there was things you were going to expect to happen that were very unexpected things, took and hit them in the head,
yes,
put those things in a room, locked it up, and took over the show. But before the show, there was a show.
There was indeed, yes. And we're talking about the Korakuen Hall show.
Yes, we are.
From the 24th of July that happened 3 days before the start of the 5-Star Grand Prix, which is... It was a great show, a really important show, because there were multiple title matches. So we're going to talk about that real quick before we get into night one, because it was crazy. Okay.
Night one,
it was insane.
Night one is very crazy. And, you know, to monologue a bit, I'm going to say a lot of times on our show, and anybody who's been with us the whole time, thank you very much. Anyone who is new, thank you as well. But one thing we've done since the very first of this program is we've pitched to things that were happening later in the program.
Yes.
And it's, you know, it's an old trope, right? Stick around, fans. You don't want to miss this. But let me just go ahead and say, if you basically listen to this to hear about the shows and you don't really have time to watch them, or you enjoyed them very much and you just want to hear someone else's take on it, I'm pitching to, we're going to get through the Korakuen Hall. Korakuen Hall was a great show. So in a lot of stuff, we got to talk about it. But when we talk about the damn pay-per-view, the night one, when I tell you that there was so many shock endings
my goodness,
for us, right? For us in our little world of things that we, you know, these things exist, these things don't exist. And a lot of times tropes are tropes because they happen a lot.
Yes.
And so when the tropes all get messed up and you get unexpected heroes, okay? One of my favorite topics today is going to be about an unexpected hero.
Yes.
That we were there for, and we were never there for this one before. So cool things like that. So
it's just the feeling,
yeah,
right?
it's the feeling, and it's the feeling, the reason we watch.
Yes.
The reason we like to be reminded. It's the same reason Raja and I are really into like cult movies. We're really into indie movies.
Yeah.
Indie music.
We love to be surprised.
And we like to be surprised. We like to be entertained. We like people that are creative.
And emotional.
Yeah.
People who really care about the stuff they're doing, right?
Exactly. So with no further ado, I'll turn it over to my co-host and the host.
Yes. Let's talk about Korakuen Hall, because this was a strong card right out of the gate for Stardom recently, and they pulled it off big time. We started off the show with a singles match between Kikyo Furusawa and Aya Sakura.
Yeah, Kikyo.
So just a lot of, obviously, Kikyo trying to get that ankle lock on Aya, who is very heavily kick-based, so she was very much trying to interrupt her game in this match.
I thought Kikyo, man, she did a really good job, and again, seems way beyond where she's at in the business right now.
Yeah.
And of course, Aya at this point, it's expected to put on a good performance.
Yeah, she's very much become like, she knows what she's about.
Yeah.
She's going to go in there and do her thing. And she ended this match with her triangle choke. She made Kikyo tap out. So
I don't know if you guys lovingly call people by little pet names when you're watching stuff a lot, right? You have a favorite TV show, you might call that guy McSteamy or whatever.
Right.
We have little names for all the wrestlers that we use, and we call Kikyo Baby Metal.
Of course, yes. Because she dresses like that, right?
But it's one of those things because she kind of seems like it's one of those girls that seems like maybe she was handed a gimmick and it's not really her lifestyle, or if it is, she just found it at Hot Topic a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And I don't mean that bad. We like her.
Yes.
Okay? We like her little vampirism and all this stuff. But let me tell you something really interesting. So I was looking at Kikyo's Instagram and, you know, kind of hanging out on there. Dude, she actually looks so much more goth in regular day.
Oh, so she's just an OG goth.
Yeah, I mean, she actually, I was like, God, she should wear that crap.
Oh, so she's downplayed it for the ring.
Yeah. She like had on some cool chokers and like all this stuff.
Yeah, we need to see more goth in Kikyo's attire.
I was pretty excited, honestly, because
that's awesome. I love that they let her express that side of herself, because that's not typical sort of Joshi.
No, and it's funny because it's still that Japanese. Like anything Japanese to me is high fashion, right?
Yeah,
so even if they got like goth, it's like primo,
right?
Clean, you know, because in the States, in the Western culture, you know, you're gonna have some stinky ass motherfuckers. Like they're gonna be, and it's not all goth. I've got a lot of friends that are goth. I'm just saying, I got you. It's a lot more punk is really punk, but in Japan, to punk, it's like always seems like they come from a really nice, you know, city or something, and it's just
it's just the style.
Their hair is always perfect. And anime.
Yeah, I get you, but I agree. Kikyo she's a great addition to the roster, and I love her style because it's unique to like anyone else that's in there right now.
Oh, absolutely.
After that, we had a match with Akira Kurogane, Itsuki Aoki, Rina Yamashita and Suzu Suzuki versus Emma Maishima, Rion, Hanako, and Waka Tsukiyama. So a little Mivita Loca versus EXV plus Emma Maishima, you know, getting thrown in there with EXV. A fun little 8-man match, you know. Itsuki actually got the win in this match. She used Body Splash on Rion to get the pin.
You were so happy about that.
I know. I love Itsuki.
Itsuki's one of your top 10 right now, isn't she?
I love seeing her. She's a great wrestler. She's got a great personality, and like every time I see her, I just have a great time.
I always notice when Itsuki comes out, you're just like you're like, yeah, you just cheer up. I love that. She's fun.
Yeah, and I also noticed that like sometimes I listen to the Japanese commentary because I like to hear the way that they say things, especially names. And I noticed that they actually pronounce it Itsuki Aoki. So if you guys would prefer, I pronounce it that way instead of Itsuki Aoki, which is how I have been pronouncing it.
Yes. So was it Itsuki Aoki?
Itsuki Aoki, yes. Just like take the middle syllables that I've been doing out, essentially.
They do a lot of things like that, though. They shorten the hell out of words.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Takeshita, right? Like, you just have to kind of flow through it.
Right.
But, yes, I love her, and I think she's a great wrestler, and I love seeing more of her in Stardom because I get more for matches.
I like seeing Mi Vida Loca, you know, coming out there and doing their thing.
Me too,
So they're still a really cool group.
They are. Like, they haven't lost any of their luster, have they, since their debut?
Not yet.
After that, we had a 3-way tag team match where we saw Hazuki and Koguma versus Momo Kogo, oh my gosh, and Yuria Hime versus Lady C and Saki Kashima. And within this match was all the silliness. It was just a lot of bear dancing, a lot of Saki Kashima not wanting to wrestle and not wanting to team with Lady C. But it was Hazuki and Koguma who came out with the win. Koguma used her 120% schoolboy on Yuria Hime to get the pin and win for FWC.
It's my turn.
Okay.
So Yuria Hime, I can't even do it without laughing because of the way you're looking at me.
Sorry. I'll look over there.
Yuria came out and she did another great performance.
Yes.
She's added a belt.
She did. She added a garter belt to her gear.
To her gear. Not that I noticed, but she is just, you know, it's still astounding to me. The growth, the how good she is and how over she is with the crowd. Yeah,
we didn't get to see as much of it in this match as we will on night 1 in her singles match, but she continues to impress. After that, Miyu Omasaki and Starlight Kid took on Azusa Inaba and Fukigen Death in a very silly vinegar-themed match where Starlight Kid pinned Fukigen Death after a moonsault press. Then Rani Yagami, Tomoka Inaba, Hina, and Ami Sourei took on Sayaka Kurara, Yuna Mizumori, Sariano, and Natsupoi. Little God's Eye versus Cosmic Angels, a lot of great action. Sariano got the win here. She pinned Ami Sourei with the pottering, so another loss for Amisori heading into the tournament, which is the second loss in a row in Korakuen Hall this month. So
yeah, it's really
not great.
Again, it's very strange to me.
It is, with her return having just happened a month ago.
Yeah. It's like, good Lord, girl.
But maybe that fires her up for the tournament. Who knows? Next, we had a high-speed title match. Mei Seira versus Hanoka. And before you say anything, I do have to say the rules were not as bad in this situation as I feel they have been in the past. I know you're going to bring it up, how I'm always bitching about the new high-speed rules, because I don't like the format as much as just a normal match. But it wasn't as bad here because it was two very talented wrestlers going against each other, and they were able to put on a great match despite the rules.
I was just going to say it was nice to see Hanoka back in Stardom. I don't know what you're talking about.
That too, yes. We love Hanoka.
You know, but since you brought it up, as we watched this match, Raja was really excited at first because she didn't think they said anything about the rules.
Yes, and I heard first fall, and I was like, no.
But then we started watching it, and it was really, really good.
It was a great match.
And with the way the times are broken up, when was the last time you don't really see matches of that speed go very long anyway.
Right.
So, when you get that first fall out of the way, it kind of builds drama. Mm-hmm. In a high-speed match, there's not a whole lot of storytelling normally.
Yeah, it's a high speed. You just go with the high speed.
So it's a built-in story,
right?
To have the three falls. Mm-hmm. Normally when you have a three-fall match, though, you know how it goes, guys. It's just like when you have a coin flip between heels and baby faces on who gets the advantage. The heel always wins, right? Mm-hmm. In a 2 out of 3 falls match, a lot of times it's give, take, and then finish.
Yes.
And this was one of the most dominating performances I've seen out of Mei Seira. Mm-hmm. She come out there and she just showed who the motherfucker was. Like
she won 2 falls in a row. She was like, "This is my title." Dude,
2 falls in a row and domination.
Yeah.
Domination station.
Yeah, she was high speed. She was nonstop. There's no. I don't know who's going to take that belt off of Mei Seira.
As much as I want Hanoka to win, the part that bummed me out, and I'm just gonna call it like I want to call it on this, was the challengers that came out after the match.
It was a little lackluster. It's like not the people you really want to see challenge for the high speed belt.
Yeah, no, I don't. Listen, I love Unimon in her own universe.
Yes, we have people in our heads that are like perfect opponents for Yuna Mizumori, and Mei Seira is like not in that category.
Yeah, no, and for Mei Seira, I think the best thing that could possibly be done for high-speed challengers is to keep bringing in a revolving door of indie talent.
Yeah,
that is all super high speed, and even we got Emma emerging.
Yes, Emma Maishima is definitely coming into her own in the high-speed division. And like you pointed out when we were watching, the perfect challenger was right there at ringside, cornering Hanoka.
Oh my God.
Why isn't Kohaku challenged for the belt yet?
Kohaku was there, and I thought Kohaku was there just to come in and be like, look, you beat up my young girl.
Yeah.
I'm going to take you out.
Yeah, and I know Mei and Kohaku are friends.
Yeah.
They were both trained by the same person. They came into the business together, right? But that just makes it even cooler to see them face. And that would be a crazy match.
it would be a crazy, I would like to see a best of 7 series with them. Because they're both so highly skilled.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the types of matches they could pull out between them.
And they bring the best out of one another. You're right. Having that Chigusa link, it just makes them killers.
It does, yeah. But Mei did retain the title here, and then Yuna Mizumori and Waka Tsukiyama came into the ring to sort of say, oh, we'd like some shots at that high-speed title, and we were kind of like, oh, okay. I guess.
The problem with them, too, is if there was a peanut butter trophy, the two of them would pop up and go,
they just want any trophy, any belt possible.
Yeah, they kind of like buckshot it. They shotgun blast, all that stuff. Like, I want to be part of that. I want to win that.
Right. To be fair, Yuna has been doing the high-speed thing for a couple of months, since the end of last year.
Yeah.
She's been on the Pine Speed train, so she kind of has a claim to it, I guess. But I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes.
Okay.
May didn't seem happy about it either. She was kind of like pulling her belt away from them. She's like, don't touch my belt.
Yeah,
thanks.
no, this is not for you.
Next, we had the 6-man match that everyone was looking forward to. Konami, Momo Watanabe, and Saya Kamitani versus Miku Kanai, Chi-Chi, and Suri. And I just have to say that this combination of hate, this 6-man team, is like the scariest thing that you could probably pull out of hate, three people wise. And they lived up to that in this match, as did the other three, especially Suri, because these two teams just freaking tried to kill each other the whole match. Like, there was no two ways about it. They were in here to do damage.
Yeah, and it felt like it was setting up for Suri to dominate against Konami. But yeah, I mean, obviously hate comes out and they seem like the baby faces here because it's people coming into Stardom, and Stardom is very tribalistic that I didn't realize.
More than we thought.
No, yeah, the fans are very tribalistic on that. They're like, hey, you've been talking a lot of crap and, go to hell.
Yeah.
But I love seeing Chi-Chi there. I hope that that's a normal thing.
Me too.
Just because she's so talented, and I love seeing her with Suri as well, because I've always pinpointed Chi-Chi as a more dominating, vicious person.
Yeah, she's very aggressive in the ring. Like, she has that same sort of vibe.
Yeah.
And Miku is also a great potential up-and-comer who's been turning on a lot lately. But this match ended when Konami submitted Miku with her armbar and then refused to let go, which angered Suri to no end because they could not get Konami off of her arm.
I loved it because they kept trying, they kept doing all the things, and Suri got to the point where she no-sold the bat.
Yeah, Mom was trying to choke her with the bat, and Suri's like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah, she kind of just Austin Aeried it there at the end.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of just stood up and was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah, it was very high tensions, and you could kind of just feel it. Like, it was great going into the tournament to have this sort of like, these people do not like each other, and it's very clear.
How would you like for the one thing in your name, if you become like your name gets like pulled into something like Joshed, quit joshing me, to be like, for me, it's Austin Aries is a moment of unprofessionalism.
Yeah, that's not what you want to be remembered for, is it? Following that, in the semi-main event for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship, we had Azumi defending against Bozilla. And this match delivered in ways that I wasn't even, I wasn't ready for. Azumi and Bozilla did a great job of this sort of David versus Goliath story, with Azumi constantly attacking Bozilla's arms and trying to keep her down on the ground, and Bozilla just showing her strength and even pulling out some crazy stuff like moonsaults and stuff. And there were bumps to the floor that looked like they could have killed any normal person, but it was an incredible match all around, and I was so pleased with the way that this match went.
This match blew any expectation that I had, any preconceived notion that I possessed, blew them all away. And the reason is everything you just said, exactly right, and more. We've seen Bozilla come in, and she's had dominating performances. She's been able to be outsmarted. And I love that. I applaud that, because you have to figure out a way. If you're going to have you're going to have an attraction on your show, you have to have ways to be able to beat them, because normally in the annals of wrestling history, attractions didn't stay in one area very long. You would have the Abdul the Butchers come in for a shot for a week. You would have Andre come in for a shot for a week.
Right.
And the reason you do that is because once you've seen them, what do you do with a problem like Andre?
Right.
You can't give Andre a belt, but you can't beat Andre. So what do you even do, right? So these attraction type wrestlers, these bigger than life wrestlers, they're hard to keep full time.
Yeah.
And Bozilla falls into that. So you've had to have countouts, you've had to have schmozzes galore, and even those can get old. So what's the next evolutionary step for something like that? Well, I think we've seen that. Bozilla was not as outsmarted as outclassed, wrestling wise, by her senpai Azumi, who is one of the top 5% wrestlers on the planet, and proves that each and every outing without the pomp and circumstance, without pointing her fingers at herself and going, I'm the best.
Yeah.
She just goes and takes care of business, and she did that in this match. Bozilla, though, in that world, took these moves, as Raja was saying. She took moves she had no business taking. She took the destroyers. She took the top rope bumps. She took these things, but they were done in a believable way. It was done in a way where Azumi seemed like her speed was bewildering to the Giants.
She always used Bozilla's momentum against her and like pulled her off the top rope and stuff, believable things.
Yeah, and even at the end of the match, when Bozilla goes down, Bozilla takes in this moment of humility and her facials, the realism on her face. She goes, "This is what I wanted. I wanted to match with Azumi." And she called her senpai.
Yeah.
And there was this before she went back to Bozilla.
She thanked her.
Yeah, this thank and this handshake. And you got to see like, oh, how there's the 19-year-old or there's the 20-year-old. That's the girl inside this giant's body. And then, of course, she just leveled. She
hit her with the F5.
she hits her with the F5. She bodies her, and the people are like, "Oh yes, that's great." But I loved it so much. I love this match so much.
Me too. And there was a lot of great moments in this match that really made you see like, oh, Bozilla's becoming a really complete wrestler.
Yeah.
Like it's stuff we've not seen out of her before. And she is still a young wrestler in her career. So it's great to see her continue to grow in these ways. And just the way that like her face looked when she was selling the armbar, and the finish was really cool because Azumi set up for like an armbar, but when she couldn't really get it set in very well, she pulled Bozilla over into a pin that just looked impossible to kick out of for anyone.
Yeah.
So it was such a great match, and Azumi is still the NJPW Strong Women's Champion against all odds.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed.
I am too. This match is a case study in pro wrestling psychology.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that gets, because where it happens in the world, because it's females, because whatever, it's one of those I'm afraid gets overlooked.
Right.
And it takes people like us, like people that are listening, historians of women's wrestling, to be able to remind people and tell people and show people, things like this in the future, because I'm not going to forget this one. We do the joke with each other about what's your favorite Bozilla match, right? What's your favorite?
Definitely this one.
It's like, because if you can't come up, as we talked about on the last show, if you can't come up with a match, then maybe you don't like as much as you thought.
Right.
And right now, this is my favorite Bozilla match.
Yeah, me too. This is the first match that I've seen of hers where I actively in my head, as I was watching it, was like, oh, she's going to be somewhere big in America in like a year. Like, I can totally see her.
Not using any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think she's really becoming a wrestler that she can be proud of.
Yes.
Her performances. But that wasn't the final match on this card. We ended the Korakuen Hall show with the Goddess of Titles. The Goddess of Stardom Championship match. Wingori, Hanan, and Saida defending against BMI 2000, Uraka, and Natsuko Tora. And, sometimes you get things you want, and sometimes things don't go the way you think they're going to go. And this was one of those matches. It was a great match. Like, both of these teams are obviously very talented, but Uraka and Natsuko Tora used literally every resource they had at their disposal in this match, and they came out at the end as the new Goddess of Stardom tag team champions.
I mean, look, it had to happen, and it's good to happen in a way for someone like Ruaka. That
Ruaka got the win.
Yeah, she hasn't had a lot of, positive things happen ever. Yeah. But it also sets up the thing that I believe is happening. I believe that Hanan is going to win the 5-star.
Yeah.
I just do.
It does feel that way. Like we're setting Hanan up to go on her own path here.
I believe Hanan wins the 5-star, and I believe Hanan will be the World of Stardom champion, or the Goddess of Stardom champion, or
she's definitely gonna have a big singles belt.
Stardom.
She's gonna be the Stardom of Stardom.
Yeah, the title of Stardom. What was it you said? I was trying to remember what you said.
I said the Goddess of Titles.
The Goddess of Titles. My joke didn't work because I couldn't remember the silly thing you said. She's gonna be the Goddess of Titles.
Oh, she just owns all the titles.
Yes,
she's the Goddess of all titles.
That's it.
But speaking of the 5-star Grand Prix, it has officially kicked off not even 24 hours ago. The opening night happened in Oda Ward Gymnasium, and it was a fantastic show. It looked great. The crowd was there for it. and every single match delivered in different ways and a lot of surprises.
Huge crowd. We've had this run of sellouts.
Yeah, it was 1,700 plus.
And that's a huge crowd.
Yeah.
That and boy howdy, as I've written down for you.
Boy howdy.
Boy
was
howdy.
This show crazy.
This show, that's it. It was crazy.
We had to it's going to be crazy because you have to get through all the matches. Everyone has to have a match. That's 16 singles matches on a single show, which is insane for any wrestling
it didn't feel
company.
like it.
No, it didn't feel like it. They fit it into 4.5 hours,
It felt
I
short
think,
to me.
which is crazy. But each of these matches in the 5-star only has a 15-minute time limit. Most of them don't go that long. So, if you just get in there and do your business, you're going to get the job done quick.
They shortened the entrances.
They did. Like, they introduced people as they were walking out instead of waiting till they got in the ring. That really helped, efficiency-wise.
Like, when we're behind on shows, when we take the entrances off.
Yeah, it's like 20 less minutes per match.
It's crazy.
But before the main show started, we had a pre-show match that featured the few talent in Stardom that are not in the 5-star Grand Prix this year. It was a 6-man match. Kikyo Furusawa, Emma Maishima, and Saki Kashima versus Akira Kuragane, Hazuki, and Koguma. So they had a really nice 6-man match. It was actually quite a long match for a pre-show match. They really went in there and did the thing. Akira got the win in this match. She pinned Emma after her half-hatch suplex. So Akira Kuragane kind of like, I'm not losing another big match. It's not happening. So she got the win here.
Yeah, it was what it needed to be. Just fun, quick.
Yeah, it's a little setup. You get everyone ready to go.
I
for the big show.
still wish that we could also have Emma and Kikyo and Akira in the tournament with, and I could think really quickly 3 people I would change out. But
you could put Kikyo, Emma, Saki, and Akira each in one of the blocks, and then you're good to go.
but I think we have enough. So
there are quite a lot. So let's start off with the main card. We kicked everything off in Red Stars A with,
and as always, we're going to also talk about new gear.
Oh, yes. Stay tuned because there's a whole fashion segment of this show because we're obsessed with everyone's gear, okay? Because it's part of the show, right? It's part of the performance. We kick things off Red Stars A, Lady C versus Saya Kamatani. So right off the bat, we get to see the World of Stardom champion against Lady C, who's a first-timer in the tournament. And Lady C is one of the aforementioned people with new gear
awesome
this
new
year.
Gear.
A lot of people debut new looks for the 5-star because it's that big of a deal. So she's got like this she's always black and white, but her pants are like full black now with the white C's on it that kind of look like crescent moons. It's just a really cool look.
It's my favorite Lady C gear
so
far.
It's definitely a great look for
Saya
Lady C.
Kamatani had a sponsor flag instead of a normal flag, and I think her gear's a little different, but it's hard to tell.
I think she was wearing the big gear from her Tam Nakano match with the extra silver tassels in the skirt, but she did have a flag for Tokyo Revengers, which is the main big sponsor in the middle of the ring this year. So she didn't have her fancy Saya Kamatani flag. But this match was really good. Lady C came out of the gate aggressive. She was like right in there on Saya Kamatani, trying to do her best to overcome the World of Stardom champion. But that is not an easy ask for anyone. So the match ended up with Saya Kamatani pinning Lady C with just a roll up. She just got it done as fast as she could.
Yeah, I expected an upset in this match.
I could have seen it.
To be honest, I expected this to be one of the ones that if you're going to start dishing pushes out, maybe it's time for Lady C. Because it's one of those things, one of those weird things. Like, is there something wrong with Lady C? You don't see it, right? And she's smooth.
Yeah.
So
this is her chance to prove that, I guess, in these matches. She's got all these singles matches, so she has a real opportunity to grab the brass ring and show everyone what she's about. But that would have been cool to start off the night with an upset over the World of Stardom champion.
So as of right now, everything was safe in the world.
Yes, everything was just fine and normal. The next match, Blue Stars A, Aya Sakura versus Ami Sourei. So we got lots of chops, lots of kicks, a really cool match against 2 people who are very technical wrestling based, so it was really fun. Ami Sourei used Like a Thunderbolt to defeat Aya Sakura. Once again, a very expected outcome in this match. The next match in Blue Stars A, Yuri Hime taking on Miyu Amasaki. Miyu debuting her own new gear.
Yes.
Very cute. It's got like a skirt with the high leggings.
Yes, also my favorite Kevin gear.
Yes, it's very, it's in her signature, like, light teal, minty color. So it was very Miyu Amasaki. And she is the one who got the win in this match over Yuria with the Tensai. But Yuria did show that same fire that we saw against Akira Kuragane. She was pretty much on top this entire match.
Yuria beat the piss out of Kevin through the whole match.
Yeah.
She did not stop. Everything she did, it was, like you said, fire. It was quick. It was abrupt.
Yes.
It looked great until the finish. Until the one move.
Yeah. It was like, I thought she was going to win. Like, I was totally convinced because she was pretty much in control the whole time. But Miyu Amasaki showing that she's got a little bit more experience. So,
buddy.
After that, in Red Stars B, we saw Rion versus Rina. And this match earns the Cutie Patootie New Gear Award of the night, I think, because they both had new gear. And in a way that really changes, like, it really zhuzhes up the wrestler in a way that you're like, wow, they look great.
Okay. Some more inside baseball? Can I?
Yes.
Okay, so Rion. Since we've first ever seen Rion, Rion's had that gear.
The pink and blue.
The pink and blue gear. So it's been, how long has she been around? Over a year.
Yeah.
And during that whole time, we have watched that gear get tattered.
Oh man, her like kick pads are falling apart.
Torn, repaired, patched.
And we're always like, this is the time that she's going to have new gear. This is it, the night.
If you could hear Raja in all the big shows that we've had where she's been on them, and Raja going, this is the one, you know? Like, Rion's on this show tonight. You know, she's going to have new gear.
She's a fairly big match. She'll probably have new gear.
She'll have new gear this time, and I won't have to see that other gear anymore. And so we didn't even say it this time, which is what's funny.
No.
And when we saw her come out on stage and she had that new gear.
With the heart and the pink and purple, and she looked so cute.
And it was like the best gear ever.
Yes, I love it. It's perfect. Thank you, Rion, for getting amazing new gear. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Very choice.
Obviously, they can wear what they want, but when your gear starts falling apart, it's time.
Then Rina shows up.
Oh, man. Stole the show.
And Rina, after we thought we'd seen the best gear.
Yeah.
Rina comes out. And she's like, because recently Hina's put it on, right? Remember, Hina's had fire.
Yes.
Hanen's always on fire.
Yes, and we haven't seen Rina for like a month because she got hurt.
Rina's like, girlfriend, I appreciate my sisters, but at the same time, I got to remind you cats who the actual cutest sister is.
Right? Because she's in that full black look with the pink touches. It's like,
oh my God.
It's much more mature than like the gear that she's had with the the furry boot covers with the bows on the back. And she has long hair.
Yeah.
We got long hair, Rina.
I see more and more Hana Kimura. And it's not like a direct Hana Kimura.
Right, it's the influence.
But I do see more and more Hana Kimura in her stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But this match was very fun. It was very much a Rion versus Rina match. Like, you got to see all their biggest hits. It was great. Barb Sasaki in there playing around with Rina. He's like, I'm not going to fall for any of your stuff.
Rina had the best attitude.
She did. She was in great mood.
Having a great time. And that always makes you feel good when you see the players having a wonderful time.
I'm happy for it because of what happened to her recently. I'm glad that she's back and she's feeling good and she looked great and she didn't seem to have any like slowdown of any kind from that. But she also was able to win this match with the Pink Devil despite like both of them kicking out of a bunch of things that people wouldn't normally kick out of ahead of that. Yeah. So it was cool. Rina got the win. Rion did her best. And I totally expect her to get a win at some point. But Rina's starting off her first 5-star with a win. Congratulations to her. Next, in Blue Stars B, we had the Momo versus Momo match. So Momo Kogo versus Momo Watanabe. And this is it's time to feel bad for Momo Kogo being in this block match.
Yeah.
But she was very fired up. She went after Momo Watanabe before she was even ready. She was like in there, just trying her best to get one over on Momo Watanabe.
If you saw Momo Kogo on her own Instagram doing squats and stuff, getting, training, you would see. I mean, she wants
to prove herself.
Dude, she puts the work in.
She does.
She really does.
She also had new gear. It was very similar to her old gear, but it was brand new colors and everything. It looked very nice.
But Momo Watanabe, even at Korakuen Hall, when she got the big chance, in her face, and just like we saw her in America.
Yeah.
When she came out and everybody just freaking went nuts for her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like in Korakuen Hall when they were chanting her name the other night.
Yeah.
She was like on top of the world. It was amazing. They were so loud. The Momo pop was so loud.
Yeah. People are ready for a Momo Watanabe push.
They are. Like we all want to see it. We all want Momo Watanabe in the top. Like with a singles belt. We're ready for it. The world's ready.
I would love someday to know behind the scenes of what happened.
Right. Like where it all went downhill.
How did you go from being the woman,
right,
to not ever recovering, from that?
Yeah.
Because it's been, 5 years?
Yeah, it's been a long time, yeah.
And, I think that it might be coming around, though. I really do. I really feel like
it might be, especially if people keep getting behind her like this.
The last half of this year, I think, is great for confidence.
Yeah, and she won this match. She seems to be much more into the 5-star than she was last year. You know, last year she didn't really care about it. But hopefully this year she really gives it the old college try. Hate's off to a good start with these 2 matches.
Definitely. Getting
some wins. Next, in Red Stars A, Waka Tsukiyama took on Mei Seira, and 2 Wakas... To give Waka her flowers, she kept up with Mei Seira in the beginning of this match, which was the entire match because it was the fastest match of the night. Mei Seira using the rolling star to pin Waka in just minutes. She brought in the stopwatch from the corner, they keep the time, and she's showing it to Waka like, look how fast I beat you. And Waka's still pointing at the high-speed belt, and she's like, no, look at this. I beat you in like nothing.
I think it was seconds.
It was so fast. I don't even know. But it was really funny. It was fun to watch. You know, you always expect some of those flash finishes in the 5-star. And since we don't have Saki Kashima this year, I guess Mei Seira's up to start
That's
beating
who
people.
We predicted. Was our flash finisher.
Yeah, because she's so fast.
Yeah.
But in the back, she did mention, Waka did keep up. Maybe she will get a shot at the high-speed title. But then when Waka showed up, she's like, I beat you really fast. Get out of here.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure she's completely convinced yet, but I'm sure Waka won't let up on it. Next, in Blue Stars B, we had Hina versus Suzu Suzuki. Hina debuting her own new gear. It's very Hina, though. It's the blue with the skirt. It's 100% Hina, just upgraded.
Right.
And I love that because it goes perfectly with her new attitude, which she brought right to this match. She did the face lock to the camera. She's screaming at Suzu to give up. But unfortunately, Suzu was just a little bit too strong of a competitor for her. She kicked out of the Gato clutch and hit Hina with the tequila shot to get the win and get 2 points for herself in the 5-star.
Yeah, man. It was a good performance. And when I saw the Gato clutch, part of me thought, is it possible?
It could have been. I would have totally bought it.
But, at the end of the day, Suzu does what was expected and wins. She
is a faction leader. It is very hard to beat someone like that who's seasoned in the 5-star from the past 2 years. Hina's in her first one, so, she's got to get used to the sort of vibes of it, I guess. But she had a very good showing against Suzu, and there were times when I thought she was going to take it.
Yeah, and then for one of our big upsets.
Oh, my goodness. Next... in Blue Stars B, Rana Yagami versus Hanako. Hanako getting some new gear herself. The black and blue is back, which I'm very happy about. She looked great. But her and Rana are essentially classmates. They're a couple months apart from each other, like 9 months apart debut-wise. But they were in the same Rookie of Stardom tournament in 2024. So they... have never faced off one-on-one. This was the first time that they went against each other one-on-one, and it did not turn out the way that I thought it was going to. Hanako pulled out the JP coaster, which is one of Himiko's moves from the past, to beat Rana Yagami and get 2 points in the 5-star. But the match was really good. They both gave it their all. Rana had her kicks and her lariats and all that, but Hanako's just... she's big, she's strong, she's hard to beat.
Yeah, no, she is. And, it's interesting. I mean, it just, I think Rana's a long way from being off.
Yeah.
I think that she's got a lot of big matches coming up and that she'll get a couple of wins out of it.
Absolutely. She's not down and out by any means.
Hanako getting back on track was exactly what we wanted. Mm-hmm. So, this is a great way to get back on track is to get on track.
Yeah, she's determined to do well in this tournament. Next, in Red Stars A, we had the returning Bea Priestley taking on Yuna Mizumori. And this started off kind of silly, Yuna Mizumori putting on the glasses and being like, I have a question for you. Are you a tropical bitch? And I was just like, what are you talking about, Yuna?
We can't take you anywhere, Yuna.
No, but she really took it to Bea Priestley. Bea Priestley's a former World of Stardom champion. She's no joke in the ring. She's going to hit you and hit you hard, which she did here to Yuna. There were a few times Yuna kind of got the upper hand on her, but Bea really, with those knee strikes and everything else, just...
Yeah, the knee strikes were dead on. They were great.
Yeah, it was kind of impossible for Yuna here. This impossible task of someone who's so determined to make their return worthwhile.
It got me excited. I couldn't tell exactly what she said to the camera, but Bea said something to Momo in the camera.
Yeah, I think she's really looking forward to seeing Momo at some point.
So that's exciting. She looked good. And
she did. It was very exciting to see her back and see such a performance out of her, getting her first win.
She had a little trouble with the ropes, but that's to be expected when you're, been used to ropes for a few years.
You got to readjust to the Stardom ring, right? I mean, you haven't wrestled in it in so many years. Next, in Red Stars A, Azusa Inaba took on Hanan, and this one is one of those. It's one of those surprises that kind of get under your skin, because of the way it happened. The match was really good. Azusa Inaba really bringing it to Hanan, and Hanan giving it right back. Hitting all of her big moves, backdrops, and all that, but. It was actually the interference of Rina grabbing Hanan's feet and tripping her that allowed Azusa Inaba to get the pin on Hanan. She used a roll-up just right out of that trip to pin Hanan and win the match, which came as a surprise to us. I don't know about anyone else.
I mean, it's obviously an upset, and... it was funny that it was Rina that caused it, but at the same time, it's one of those surprises it's also cool because it puts my tournament winner in, instant jeopardy right off the bat.
Yeah.
But anybody who knows anything about Japanese tournaments knows that usually the first 4 or 5 matches in a tournament, the first 4 days in a tournament do not look like the last days of a tournament at all.
No. Usually people who are losing early kind of get the fire to come back late.
The beauty of it is when you're watching a 5-star, it's not as a collection of matches as much as it is one story.
Yeah.
And so the story starts tonight, and you'll get the story of each of these women as it goes.
Yeah.
And some of it may have it's basically one long match for somebody because they're going to have moments they're in jeopardy. Mm-hmm. They're going to have comebacks. They're going to have high spots. They're going to have, heat. All that stuff.
Right.
And until you get to the finish. And for me, I always look at it like your collection of matches is just one big performance.
Right, yeah, it's basically what it is. Like, each wrestler has their story, each block has its story, and then it all culminates into the finals.
Right.
And it's just, that's what makes the 5-star so amazing.
Yeah.
And so emotional, because it's just one big storytelling extravaganza.
It's like Trey and Matt from South Park explaining storytelling.
Yeah.
On this, because it's all therefore, this happened, therefore this happens.
Yes.
Therefore this happens.
But this happens.
Yes, exactly.
Therefore this happens.
Yeah.
Yes. I love them. They're great. Next, in Blue Stars A, we got to see Ruaka take on Bozilla, and when we were doing the preview for this show, I think our only criticism for Ruaka was this year, we just want to see her care about something. Mm-hmm. Like, we just want her to seem like she actually cares about winning the match, and she brought that out in this match. She was like, there was no slow moments. She was taking it to Bozilla from jump. She was very emotional the whole time. And they even went to the outside and did some crazy stuff, the ring posts and the chairs and on the ramp.
Yeah.
And she even taped Bozilla's hands to the barricade, which didn't stop the monster for long.
My favorite moment of the match is when Bozilla breaks the tape, starts walking toward the ring, and she throws because I was hoping in my head, funny enough, I was hoping there was going to be a moment where she throws the box and Bozilla punches the box.
Yeah, it happened.
And it happened. And I was like, okay, cool. She's gonna plow her and get back in the ring, but she didn't do that.
No.
They went with the double count out.
Yes, which Ruaka said her only goal for the 5-star was to beat Bozilla. She didn't beat her, but she didn't lose to her either, so maybe she'll be satisfied with the draw finish. I don't think Bozilla's satisfied with it.
No.
But there was a lot of hate interference in this match. Like, there was a whole moment where the entirety of hate was holding Bozilla down on the outside to try to keep her out for the count out. Of course, she was able to break out of that. But the black box, yeah, like you said, she hit her with it once, and then the second time she threw it at her, Bozilla was like, nope, just denied. It was really fun. I really enjoyed this match.
It was. And it puts, a little bit of Bozilla's not going to run the table. So
yeah, because I think there were a few people in this tournament where people like, how do they even lose a match?
Right.
And that all got just squashed this first night.
It did.
Following that, we got another Blue Stars A match, Saya Iida versus Sariano, and this was just Chop City right from the start.
It was.
But as Sariano said after the match, it doesn't matter how cute you are. That's not going to win you anything.
Yeah. No, it was a strange match. Really. Just with the chops and really Saida going at it as hard as she can with that. She chopped her and mercilessly.
Yeah, in the corner, on the ropes, on the ground. She was just going for it. Sariano, though, managed to come back and just... It seemed very quick, like once Sariano got a handle on things, it was just over.
It was almost like overcome the storm and let her pete herself out on you.
Right. It's like a toddler, just let them go until they're out of energy, and then you can like put them to bed or whatever.
Right. Well, she put her to bed.
She did. She used the unknown to tap her out. That submission is just ugly. Like, how do you even get out of that?
You don't.
So Sariano carries on with 2 points in the 5-star. Next, in Red Stars B, we had Natsuka Tora versus Azumi. And yet another match that went completely opposite the way we thought, especially given the performance Azumi just had in Korakuen Hall against Bozilla.
Which probably was the reason it was hard.
Yeah, but this match was really good. Natsuka Tora and Azumi really killed it out there. It was a really enjoyable match. And Natsuka Tora is the one that got the win. She actually reversed the Azumi Sushi and just sort of laid on top of Azumi fully, like full body contact, lay on top of her so she could not kick out.
No, exactly right. And it's an upset and a surprise.
Yeah.
And it also sets up a future title match.
It does, yes. That gives Natsuka Tora every right to challenge for the NJPW Strong Women's Championship in the future, which is exciting.
Gets Tora right back on track.
She's a tag champion, and now she's got a Strong Women's Championship shot. Man, she's just on fire this week. Next, in Red Stars B, we saw Tomoka Inaba versus Starlight Kid in a absolute banger of a match that went almost to the time limit, like less than a minute left.
This is
to the time limit.
15 of the best minutes that you can see.
It was so good.
The Tomoka versus Starlight, as advertised, as excited when you first saw the lineups. This, my God.
It's like, dare I say, they wrestled like they don't actually like each other.
Yeah, it seemed like there was, that was the beauty of it. And I think that's the kind of matches you want. Basically, Tomoka and Starlight are so similar in many ways. And just their age.
Yeah.
They're both, potentially the future of wrestling, even though Starlight has been on top for a while now. But, you're going in there against the face of Stardom, arguably. And, for Tomoka, who still represents other companies, but is very much a part of Stardom as well, it's just intriguing to me because every time anybody has anything to say about Tomoka, they talk about how she's a blue chipper, how she's a can't miss property.
Yeah, because she's just that good.
And, Starlight wanted that win, especially over someone like that. But I'll be damned, man, this match really blew me away.
They brought out everything, and they both kicked out of really crazy stuff, like the Michinoku driver was kicked out of. Tomoka managed to get out of the Black Tiger leg killer even after Starlight Kid lifted her off the ground with it. So it was crazy, and even the finish was kind of wild because Tomoka locked Starlight Kid into a knee bar and then sort of turned it into a figure four sort of situation. And even with the 1 minute left call happening, Starlight still couldn't stand it and had to tap out before the time limit expired.
Which, as we said in the last match, the coolest part to that is what?
that Tomoka gets a Wonder of Stardom championship shot in the future. I mean, she beat the Wonder of Stardom champion.
Now, take my money now.
Let us see more of this with a longer time limit.
Yeah, give
please.
me 30 minutes and some big stakes.
Yeah, and Starlight in the back, of course, expressing frustration that she tapped out to a leg maneuver because that's her thing.
Right.
She's like, I'm the one that works the leg, and I tapped out to a move like that. It's just really frustrating. But Starlight's another one that had some new gear, all gray and pink and cutesy.
Which was a surprise to no one.
Yes, no one at all. In the semi-main of this show, we had the match of the night.
Match of the night.
Reds or Blue Stars B, Suri versus Konami. When I talk about people beating the tar out of each other, that doesn't really cover what happened in this match. They were obviously still tensions from the Korakuen Hall thing that happened, you know? And Miku Kanai was actually out there at ringside with her arm taped up from that incident. So there was, Suri was not happy, but Konami hit her while she was still coming in, you know? It was very quick start, and boy howdy, did they just take it out on each other the whole time, you know, with the forearms and Konami's kicks to the leg. But the story behind this match is absolutely the crowd reaction to it, because I was not expecting what happened with the crowd. It's a match that you have to see and feel and turn it up when you watch it and listen and just breathe it in. The match of the night, absolutely. The two matches of the week are this and Azumi Bozilla. They're two different kinds of matches and hard to really pick between them, except the fact that the emotion and the love and the everything we love about pro wrestling was in this match. Yeah. Because
it was the unexpected.
Yeah.
I didn't go into this match expecting to be so freaking behind Konami, but when you see the girls out there, all the hate girls are out there with Konami. You had the same people from Korakuen Hall, as you said, in the corner with Suri. You had Chi-Chi over there.
Yeah.
And the viciousness and all the shit talk that Suri has done.
Oh my gosh. This is all culminated.
About Stardom for so long. And a lot of the girls have been kind of quiet about it. You know, some of them have spoke back, like Saya Kamatani has said some things back, There's been some that have said some stuff back. Suri has been talking about, their training, they're soft, they're not like this, they're not like that. I'm going to teach these girls a lesson. I'm going to show them what it was like in the old days and all this stuff. And
all this talk about real professional wrestling.
Right.
You know?
And so Konami, who's one of the baddest bitches on the block.
Oh, man.
But you don't always get to see. And we talked about it in the preview going up to this.
Yeah.
If I get Konami, I'm going to be really happy. Well, guess who won the pony? So I'm very happy because Konami really just started laying it in. And here's the deal. That crowd, 1,700 people strong.
Yeah.
They were 100% behind Konami, chanting Konami, and anything that Suri did, they booed in the most cartoonish fashion. It was like Suri would hit a punch and it was just boo. Yeah. I mean, just loud as can
get up on the top rope and tries to yell for claps and they're like boo.
Yeah, no, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And Konami was 100% the babyface in this.
It was wild. It was one of the craziest things I've experienced, because if you watch a lot of Joshi and you just watch shows over and over again, you don't really hear boos. Like, the crowd does not boo people.
No.
That's not, unless it's like a silly thing, like someone interrupted the Kuma dance and then they boo them because they're being teasing them, But this was just outright like, you're an outsider. You come in here trying to talk about our girls and what they're doing in the ring, and we're not going to accept that.
And having somebody take the flag and actually, whether they're heel or face, it's almost like the old adage, I can fight with my brother all day, but if you come in my yard and slap my brother, you're going to fight us all.
Right.
And that's what it felt like, is these are my sisters. You're not going to come in here and do this. And,
right.
And it was so amazing. It was just this wonderful feeling that it didn't matter about heel baby. It didn't matter about any of this. It mattered about the fact I'm part of Stardom.
And you're not.
And you're not.
Yeah.
And by God.
And another thing is, after a night full of hate wins, some of them by questionable means, Konami did not use any of that in this match. There was no spray paint. There was no interference. It was just Konami versus Suri, one-on-one. And it was hard-hitting. And we kind of buried the lead here, but the unexpected happened in the finish, because not only did Konami win this match, but she put on a rear naked choke, full on back control, got your legs wrapped around you, rear naked choke, and made Suri pass out. She won this match by TKO and referee stoppage, which is probably the most insane thing that, not on my bingo card ever in a million years that happened.
No, I mean, if you're going to beat her, you expect a slip over.
Yeah, like something crazy, but oh my God. So the combination of them killing each other, the crowd reaction, and the finish just made this an all-timer 5-star Grand Prix match. Like, what the heck?
Oh, it was so great, and it makes me excited for the rest of the entire, event,
this block especially.
And so something I wasn't that excited about for this match becomes my favorite match, and one of my as well favorite 5-star matches ever.
Yeah.
And then what Konami said on the mic.
And then she can't just leave. Like, she has to add insult to injury. So she gets on the mic and she's like talking to Suri. She's like, aren't you supposed to be Stardom's champion? And then she's like, Sherry-san, I've avenged you. Like, and then she says, I can't hear anything out of my left ear because you hit me so hard. It was one of those things. And then she said, hey, Suri, is this what you call real pro wrestling? This is Stardom's pro wrestling and hates pro wrestling.
So one of the most beautiful parts to this is saying, I avenged you, Suri.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about that is, yes, they've had, it's the I could fight my sister thing.
Yeah,
but
it's like, I can spray paint Sherry all day long and hit her in the head with chairs.
Who was Sherry's commander in God's Eye?
Yeah, for a long time.
For a long time. Her first mate was Konami.
Yeah.
Konami was her go-to. It was the one like, hey, if I'm not here, Konami's in charge.
Yeah.
And, I know that when she turned on her and stuff and they had to feud and went too long, all this stuff. But I thought that was really cool.
It was, yeah, because Suri comes in and beats Shiri in only her second defense of the IWGP belt and drives Shiri out of Stardom, essentially, with all the emotions. And Konami's like, I took care of that bitch for you.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's amazing, and it just excites me.
And I love, even when I was on Twitter afterwards, Shiri retweeted the video, like from the Stardom Twitter, of that happening, and just put Konami like in her retweet, and it was so emotional. I was like, oh, things are happening. I love Stardom.
She's buying her ticket right now.
Yeah, she's like, I'm coming back. Oh man, it was so good, and I feel like this could have been a great moment to end the night on, personally. But
this to me, I think the last two matches, as much as I love the main event, it was totally not the main event. Right.
Like, I don't know if anyone expected this, though, to go the way it did and to be as amazing as it was, and you can't factor in the crowd reaction until the moment, right?
Yeah, no.
So it was very cool. It was amazing. We did still have a main event after that, but we were all hyped up.
It?
Yeah, like, how do you follow that? But if anyone can do it, right, it's Sayaka Kurara and Natsupoi. No, they couldn't really, but they tried.
They had a great match.
They did. They had a great match. Sayaka Kurara pulled out all the freaking stops in this match. Her Falcon Arrow is now called the Tokimeki Screwdriver, which I thought was a cute touch for Tam. She pulled out a lot of Tam's moves in this match against Natsupoi. She held her up on the turnbuckles with the choke. She did the Violet shooting knees. There was a lot of Tam influence behind Sayaka Kurara in this match, and she even kicked out of the Farewell Gift, which Natsupoi was super surprised about. Yeah. But following that, she just very quickly hit her with the fairy ring and pinned her for the 1, 2, 3. But Sayaka Kurara really put on a good performance.
She did. She came out nervous a little bit.
Which you would be.
She fumbled on the rope a bit, but Poi covered it so quickly that you would think it's a part of the match.
Yeah.
Which it could have been.
It totally could have been.
But it was great. Like you said, it was intense. And nothing wrong with the match whatsoever.
No.
But damn it, if that semi was not.
It took the whole, it took the moment, right, of the night. That was the moment.
It did. I mean, the only way I could have came up from that would have been like a heel turn or something. I mean, like,
yeah, it had to be something crazy.
But, and that's fine, though. That happens. You can't, like you said, you cannot, when something's organic, you can't predict it.
Yeah, and it was sweet. Like afterwards, Natsupoi on the mic, she did say she felt the feeling of the Stardom dream in the arena. So it was all very nice, and they had a nice little Cosmic Angels moment, And even backstage after that, Azusa Inaba approached Sayaka Kurara and offered her a singles match for the JTO Girls Championship. She still has that Girls Championship, even though she's the queen of JTO now. So I guess she's like, I got a couple belts. Why don't we just try to offload one, the lesser one. But that'll be a cool match, Azusa versus Sayaka. But all in all, the first night of the 5-Star Grand Prix lived up to everything that we hoped it would be and more. And it was surprising and it was wonderful. And I'm just so pumped for the rest of this tournament to see where these storylines lead because, wow, everyone did great.
Me too, man. It was awesome. Again, match of the night, Konami.
Suri, yes.
And, match of the week probably as well, but honorable mention to Bozilla and Azumi.
Absolutely, 100%.
So I do want to give some kudos as well to Raja.
Me.
Hopefully you guys checked out our preview for the entire tournament. And
yes.
If you did, then thank you. You already know. But if you didn't and you just listened to it, you need to go to YouTube. You need to go to our YouTube.
Yes.
And go ahead and watch it because Raja put a lot of work into it and it took her about, I don't know, all night. So
2 whole all nights.
Yeah, 2 whole all nights.
I'm still getting my editing chops, right? So
I loved it and it's a first of many. So we've got a lot of big plans as we've told you guys since day one, but the good thing about it is when you start having them come out, that means we're getting closer to getting where we want to get.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we want to grow this thing to, have live stuff and have videos and have, content galore. So
we want to make more of it.
It all matters. It all hinges on all of you. And, the support that we get. And we appreciate anybody and everybody who listens and shares. But please keep doing that.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate all of your support. It really keeps us going here. But so far in the 5-star, there's not, obviously it's still anyone's tournament, but standings wise right now in Red Stars A, Azusa, May, Saya Kamatani, and B Priestley are the 4 with 2 points. The rest have 0. In Red Stars B, Natsukatora, Tomoka Inaba, Natsupoi, and Rina are the 4 who gained 2 points on night 1. The rest with no points. Blue Stars A, Amisori, Sariano, and Miyu Amasaki all have 2 points. Bozilla and Ruraka each have 1 point, and the other 3 have 0. And in Blue Stars B, Konami, Suzu Suzuki, Momo Watanabe, and Hanako all have 2 points, with everyone else sitting at 0. So it's still early. It's only night 1, so we have so much more to go. The next show is on July 30th. It is a Red Star show, and we will see Saya Kamatani versus Yuna Mizumori, Mei Seira versus Lady C, B Priestley versus Azusa Inaba, Hanan versus Waka Tsukiyama, Starlight Kid versus Ryan, Sayaka Kurara versus Rina, Natsupoi versus Natsukatora, and Azumi versus Tomoka Inaba. So
I've got my eyes big time on that Azumi versus Tomoka match.
Yeah, after that Starlight Kid win.
Is Tomoka going to run right through Neo Genesis?
It's hard to say because last year it was all very even Stevens between them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see the rematch from the Cinderella final, Sayaka Kurara versus Rina, to see how that one goes down. I think it'll be really good.
It'll be cool to see B Priestley against Azusa. It'll be more of a showcase, I feel, for B Priestley some more. So a lot of cool, fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But make sure you keep up with us because we're going to be covering the entire tournament as it happens. We'll have our weekly shows catching you up on all the standings and all the matches and everything like that. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, on Facebook, and Instagram at Cult of Joshi. Subscribe to the Cult of Joshi YouTube channel. Leave us a comment. Tell us what you thought about Korakuen Hall and about the opening night of the 5-Star Grand Prix if you watched it. We would love to hear your thoughts on everything that happened because it was an insane night. It was crazy. But for now, that's all from us. I'm Raja. He's John. So long from Cult of Joshi. Bye!